Picture this. A sleek, modern apartment in the heart of Seattle, Washington, with floor-to-ceiling windows framing the glittering Puget Sound under a winter sky. This is the home of Lauren Mitchell, a 34-year-old powerhouse who's just clawed her way to the top of her career. She's planned the ultimate New Year's Eve bash to celebrate her latest promotion, a milestone she's earned through years of grit, late nights, and relentless ambition. But before the champagne can flow, her family drops a bombshell that threatens to unravel everything she's built. If you've ever felt trapped by family expectations or fought to protect what's yours, buckle up, this story's for you. Drop a comment with where you're tuning in from. Hit that like button if you've dealt with entitled relatives. And subscribe to catch how this drama unfolds. Trust me, you won't want to miss what Lauren does next. Lauren grew up in Bellevue, a cozy middle-class suburb just east of Seattle. The Mitchell family home, a modest split level with a tidy lawn, was a stage for unspoken hierarchies. Her older brother, Ethan, 38, was the golden boy who could do no wrong. Her younger sister, Chloe, 29, was the cherished baby of the family, always shielded from life's harsh edges. Lauren, stuck in the middle, was the dependable one, expected to be self-sufficient while propping up everyone else. The pattern took root early. At 16, Lauren dreamed of a used car for her birthday, just like Ethan got. But when the day came, her dad, with a sheepish smile, explained the money had gone to Ethan's college fund instead. "You're so good with saving, Lauren," he said. She swallowed her disappointment. 2 years later, Chloe got a shiny new Toyota Corolla because, as her mom put it, the roads are tougher now than when you were learning. Ethan was the charismatic slacker, a high school soccer star who coasted on charm rather than effort. Teachers adored him despite his barely passing grades, won over by his quick wit and easy grin. When he squeaked into a state university, their parents threw a party like he'd been accepted to Yale. Lauren, meanwhile, graduated valedictorian, earned a full-ride scholarship to the University of Washington, and got a lukewarm, "We knew you'd define," from her folks. Ethan dropped out after 2 years to find his path, bouncing between jobs, barista, car salesman, freelance photographer, never sticking with anything long enough to build a future. At 26, he married Olivia, a kind-hearted teacher who believed she could steady his chaos. Their lavish wedding drained their parents' savings. And soon after, 3 kids arrived: Ava, 13, Noah, 10, and Harper, 8. Ethan's career remained a revolving door of gigs, while Olivia's teaching salary kept the family afloat. Lauren, on the other hand, was methodical. After graduating with honors in communications, she started at Cascade Creative, a top-tier marketing firm in Seattle. As a junior copywriter, she worked 70-hour weeks, lived on instant noodles, and saved every penny. 5 years ago, at 29, she bought her dream apartment, a sleek 2-bedroom in downtown Seattle with breathtaking water views. Signing those papers felt like a triumph, a testament to her hustle. At her housewarming, her parents showed up but spent the evening gushing about Ethan's latest, big idea, for a startup. It was her colleagues, Mia and Jordan, who truly celebrated her milestone. Mia, the firm's creative director, became her mentor, while Jordan, a data analyst, partnered with her on campaigns that wowed clients. Together, they'd seen Lauren's relentless drive up close. When Ethan's marriage to Olivia began to crumble last year, it wasn't a shock. Olivia discovered Ethan had racked up thousands in credit card debt chasing risky investments. She filed for divorce, leaving Ethan to face the fallout of his choices. Meanwhile, Lauren's career soared. Last month, she landed a major account with Pacific Tech, a client deemed untouchable by her peers, earning her a promotion to Director of Brand Strategy. The role came with a hefty raise and a chance to shine in the company's spotlight. To mark the occasion, Lauren planned a New Year's Eve party to end all parties, catering from Seattle's finest seafood bistro, a mixologist crafting bespoke cocktails, and elegant decor to transform her apartment into a showstopper. Over coffee with Mia, she shared her excitement, and Mia raised a latte in a toast to Lauren, finally getting the spotlight she's earned. But on a chilly December evening, as Lauren finalized the party menu, her phone lit up with a call from her mom. Susan. Hey, Mom. Lauren answered, eager to share her promotion news. Lauren, sweetheart, Susan began, her voice dripping with that forced cheer Lauren knew meant trouble. It's about Ethan. His divorce finalized yesterday. Lauren's stomach tightened. Is he okay? She asked, bracing herself. Well, he's lost the house, Susan said. Olivia's lawyer was brutal. He and the kids have nowhere to go. Lauren sighed, sensing the trap. Has he looked for apartments? I can help him find something affordable. Susan's laugh was sharp. Apartments? On what income? He's between jobs. And with 3 kids. The implication hung heavy. Your apartment has that spare room. And you're always at work. It just makes sense. Lauren gripped her phone. Mom, I've got the New Year's party planned. It's a big deal for my career. Susan cut her off. Oh, about that. You'll have to cancel. Ethan and the kids are moving in. The conversation spiraled. Lauren explained her apartment's tight space. Her need for a home office. Her career demands. Susan's tone hardened. Family comes first. Lauren, Ethan needs you. The kids need stability. Your party can wait. By the end, Susan insisted on a family meeting at their Bellevue home that Sunday to sort it out. Lauren arrived determined to hold her ground. But the scene was a familiar setup. The smell of Susan's famous lasagna filled the air, a calculated move to soften her resolve. Ethan was already there, slouched on the couch, eyes tired but flashing with his usual charm. Hey, sis, he said, attempting a grin. Susan bustled out of the kitchen. Lauren's here. Let's eat first, then talk. Dinner was a masterclass in manipulation. Her dad, Greg, asked vague questions about her job while Susan piled extra servings onto Ethan's plate, murmuring about how stressed he looked. Chloe, who'd driven in from Tacoma, shot Lauren pointed glances whenever Ethan mentioned the struggles of single parenthood. Over coffee in the living room, the discussion began, but it was clear this was no negotiation. It's just temporary, Ethan said, leaning forward with earnest eyes. 3 months, tops, till I'm back on my feet. Lauren tried logic. Where will the kids sleep? I've got one spare room. Susan jumped in. Ava can take the pull-out couch. The boys can share the guest room. It's temporary. Lauren pressed on. And my home office? I need it for work. Ethan waved a hand. You can work at the kitchen table. Or stay late at the office. You're always there anyway. Lauren took a deep breath. I get that you're in a tough spot, Ethan, but my apartment isn't the answer. I've worked hard for it. And I need it for my career. I'll help you find a place. Maybe cover a deposit. Chloe rolled her eyes. Typical Lauren, always about her job and her money. Lauren's frustration flared. That's not fair. I'm offering to help, just not by giving up my home. Greg finally spoke, his voice low but firm. Lauren, it's just for a bit. Ethan has nowhere else to go. Lauren suggested a short-term rental or motel. But Susan scoffed. On what budget? He's got child support and no job. Lauren's patience snapped. So I'm supposed to upend my life because Ethan's out of work again? The room went quiet. Ethan's face crumpled in a practiced display of hurt. I can't believe you'd throw that in my face, he said softly. Susan stood, her expression fierce. That's enough. Lauren, family comes first. I didn't raise you to be so selfish. Greg nodded. Chloe glared. Ethan looked at her with a mix of expectation and entitlement that made her blood boil. Outnumbered and outmaneuvered, Lauren felt the weight of years of conditioning pressing down. Against her instincts, she agreed to a temporary arrangement, with the clear condition that Ethan actively search for a new place. Driving back to Seattle that night, the reality sank in. She'd have to cancel her party, rearrange her life, and somehow keep her sanity with 4 new roommates in her meticulously curated home. Little did she know, temporary was about to become a battle she never expected to fight. Imagine standing in your own home, surrounded by the chaos of someone else's life, realizing the sanctuary you built with your own sweat and tears has been hijacked. That's where Lauren Mitchell, a 34-year-old marketing powerhouse in Seattle, found herself. Her downtown apartment, once a symbol of her hard-earned success, had become a battleground. Her brother Ethan and his 3 kids had turned her pristine space into a war zone of sticky fingerprints, misplaced belongings, and broken boundaries. But when Lauren uncovered Ethan's true intentions, to take over her home indefinitely, something inside her snapped. This isn't just a story about family drama. It's about reclaiming your life when those closest to you try to tear it down. If you've ever had to draw a line in the sand, drop a comment with your story. Hit that like button if you're rooting for Lauren, and subscribe to see how she turns the tables. Trust me, this ride's about to get wild. The morning Ethan and his kids, Ava, 13, Noah, 10, and Harper, 8, moved into Lauren's Seattle apartment was like watching a tornado touch down. What she expected to be a few suitcases turned into a moving truck stuffed with boxes labeled, Ethan's vinyl collection, and, kids' old toys. Lauren stared, dumbfounded, as Ethan hauled in a crate marked, gaming gear. You brought your Xbox? She asked. Incredulous. He shrugged, flashing that charming grin that had always gotten him out of trouble. The kids need entertainment, sis. Lauren bit her tongue and showed them around her once immaculate space. Ava, you'll take the pull-out couch in the living room. Noah and Harper, you share the guest room. Please respect my things, especially my home office. I need quiet for client calls. Ethan nodded absently, already distracted by his phone, while the kids ran wild. Harper smearing peanut butter on Lauren's glass coffee table. By evening, her apartment looked like a daycare explosion. Toys littered the floor, dishes piled up in the sink, and mysterious sticky spots appeared on her velvet sofa. Lauren retreated to her bedroom, the last bastion of her control, and called her colleague Mia. I had to cancel the New Year's party, she said, voice tight. Ethan's taken over. Mia's sympathy was instant. Can't they stay with your parents? Lauren sighed. Mom says their place is too small. It's my family duty. Mia paused. How long are they staying? 3 months. Supposedly, Lauren replied, already doubting it. That first week was chaos. But Lauren told herself it would get better. It didn't. Noah barged into her bedroom without knocking. Ava borrowed her high-end skincare, and Harper's sticky fingers left trails on every surface. Ethan, meanwhile, showed zero urgency in finding a job or a new place. When Lauren asked about his progress in week 3, he waved her off. I've got leads. It's tough with my credit post-divorce. Work became Lauren's only escape. But even that suffered. Client calls were interrupted by the kids shouting or Ethan's loud gaming sessions. Her organized files went missing. One morning, she found Harper had doodled on a critical Pacific Tech presentation. Ethan, this has to stop. She confronted him after finding her favorite cashmere scarf shrunk in the wash. The kids need boundaries, and you need to be looking for a place. He insisted he was trying, but his promises felt hollow. Her parents, Susan and Greg, were no help. When Lauren vented, Susan deflected. He's going through a tough time. He needs to decompress. The breaking point came when Lauren returned from a business trip to find her home office transformed into a gaming den. Her desk was shoved against the wall, her filing cabinet gone, and Ethan's Xbox glowed where her laptop once sat. Where are my files? She demanded. Ethan shrugged. In storage. The kids needed a play space. This room's got the best light. Fury surged. This is my office. Ethan, I need it for work. He rolled his eyes. You're barely here. You were gone 3 days. That night, Lauren overheard a phone call that stopped her cold. Ethan, lounging on her couch, was talking to Susan. Yeah, Lauren's freaking out about the office. But she'll get over it. I'm thinking we need a more permanent setup. The rental market's insane. And with my credit. Besides, the kids are settled here. Moving schools again would mess them up. Susan's muffled reply was followed by Ethan's confident. 6 months. Maybe through the school year. She can afford it. Did you see her LinkedIn? Director now. Lauren froze in the hallway. Her heart pounding. This was never temporary. Ethan planned to stay. And her parents were enabling him. The final straw came when she found her financial documents disturbed. Bank statements out of order. Her checkbook misplaced. Ethan admitted. Casually. Just checking your mortgage rate. Thinking about options if I buy a place. If? Lauren snapped. He shrugged. That infuriating gesture she'd grown to despise. Enough was enough. Lauren called another family meeting. This time at her apartment. So they could see the chaos firsthand. This isn't working, she said firmly. Ethan hasn't looked for a job or a place. My work's suffering, and my home's been taken over. Instead of support, she faced resistance. The kids seem happy, Susan said, ignoring the mess. Ethan needs time, Greg added. Chloe, with a smirk, suggested, maybe you should move out. Lauren, you're always at work anyway. Lauren stared, stunned. You want me to leave my home? Susan nodded. It makes sense. Ethan needs the space for the kids. You're just one person. In that moment, Lauren saw the truth. To her family, she was a resource, not a person. Her success was theirs to exploit. She was done. That night, Lauren called her college friend, Sarah, who'd always seen through her family's dysfunction. They've taken over, Lauren confessed, voice breaking. Mom thinks I should move out. Sarah's response was firm. They count on you bending. Lauren, what if you didn't? The question lingered. At 2 a.m., unable to sleep amidst the clutter and lingering smell of Ethan's impromptu game night, Lauren made a decision. This wasn't about revenge, it was about survival. The next morning, with Ethan and the kids at her parents' for the day, she sprang into action. She called her real estate agent. Jessica, I need to sell the apartment. Lauren said. How fast can we list? Jessica, ever professional, didn't flinch. Market's hot. We can list next week. But why? You love this place. Lauren gave a brief rundown. Jessica whistled. You sure? Dead sure, Lauren replied. And keep it quiet until the sign goes up. Next, she called the event planner for her New Year's party, securing a refund for the $3 deposit minus a small fee. Then, she scoured listings for short-term rentals. By afternoon, she'd toured 3 places. The first 2 were fine but uninspiring. The third, a sunny 1-bedroom in a secure Belltown high-rise, felt right. She signed a 6-month lease on the spot. Set to move in the next day. Back at her apartment, Lauren packed methodically. Her art, electronics, jewelry, and prized wine collection went into boxes. Important documents, passport, financial records, property deeds, went into a portable safe. Her laptop and work drives were secured in padded cases. She chose a few sentimental items. A framed photo of her late grandmother. A vintage lamp from a flea market. A journal from college. As she wrapped each piece, a bittersweet pang hit her. This apartment was supposed to be her forever home. But people show you who they are. And her family had shown her too clearly. Lauren called the utility companies, transferring electricity, water, gas, and internet out of her name. Services would continue briefly under the building's emergency provisions. But Ethan would need to act fast. By evening, she called Sarah. It's done, she said. I've got a new place. And the apartment's listed. Sarah asked. How do you feel? Lauren paused. Lighter. Like I've dropped a weight I've carried forever. Are you telling them in person? Sarah asked. Lauren shook her head. Though Sarah couldn't see. No. I'm leaving a letter. They'll be back tomorrow. I'll be gone. Sarah offered to help move. And Lauren gratefully accepted. The next morning, Sarah arrived at 8 a.m. with coffee and a pickup truck. They loaded Lauren's car and Sarah's truck with boxes and suitcases. Standing in her apartment one last time, Lauren surveyed the chaos Ethan had left. Toys strewn across the floor. Dishes in the sink. Game controllers on the coffee table. She placed a letter on the kitchen counter, anchored by her spare keys. Ethan, I've moved out and listed the apartment for sale. My attorney will contact you about the closing process once a buyer is found. All utilities are out of my name, so you'll need to set up your own accounts immediately to keep services running. This isn't sudden, it's the result of patterns I can no longer sustain. I wish you and the kids well. But I need to prioritize my well-being. The furniture and basics stay for your use until the sale. Please respect them. Lauren. Jessica texted to confirm the for sale sign would go up that afternoon. Lauren locked the door. knowing she'd never use that key again. As she and Sarah drove to Belltown, Lauren didn't look back. She felt no tears, only a strange, exhilarating freedom. 3 hours after settling into her new apartment, her phone lit up with Ethan's name. She let it go to voicemail. A barrage of texts followed. WTF? Lauren? Is this a joke? Call me now. They're putting up a sale sign. She muted him and kept unpacking, arranging her belongings in the sunlit space. It was peaceful, a stark contrast to the chaos she'd left. Susan called next, then called again, 5 times in a row. On the 5th, Lauren answered. How could you do this? Susan demanded, voice trembling. You've left Ethan and the kids with nothing. Lauren stayed calm. They have a roof until the place sells. Months. Probably. Ethan's an adult. He needs to figure it out. Susan's tone turned icy. The utilities are shutting off. Internet's gone. Electric's next if no one pays. Yes. Lauren said. I transferred everything out of my name. Ethan needs to handle it. With what money? Susan cried. That's not my problem anymore. Lauren replied, feeling a twinge of guilt but standing firm. I can't believe you're this cold. Susan said. This isn't how we raised you. Lauren laughed bitterly. You raised me to believe my needs don't matter if Ethan's in trouble. I'm done with that. She hung up as Susan tried to pass the phone to Greg. The calls kept coming. Ethan. Susan. Greg. Even Chloe. Lauren silenced them all. A text from Chloe stood out. Ethan's telling everyone you lost it. Mom's crying. Dad's talking lawyers. Is this worth destroying the family? Lauren laughed aloud. The family was only destroyed when she stopped playing her role. The next day, Jessica called. Ethan's causing trouble. Told buyers the place isn't for sale. That you can't sell it. Lauren sighed. What now? Jessica was calm. Your attorney says you're the sole owner. He can't stop it. We're sending a formal notice to vacate to cover our bases. Lauren agreed. The notice sparked more outrage. Ethan called her office repeatedly, forcing the receptionist to block him. Susan left tearful voicemails about family loyalty. Chloe, surprisingly, reached out with a different tone. Can we meet for coffee? Just us. No ambush. Her text read. Lauren chose a cafe near her office, keeping her new address private. At the cafe, Chloe seemed less smug, fidgeting with her coffee. I talked to Olivia, she said. Ethan gambled away their savings, twice. She bailed him out once for the kids. But not again. And he wasn't between jobs. He got fired for showing up drunk. Lauren wasn't surprised. I always believed his side. Chloe admitted. Ashamed. I thought you were selfish. I'm starting to see it differently. It wasn't an apology, but it was close. What now? Chloe asked. The apartment sells. Ethan finds a place. Life moves on, Lauren said. And the family? Lauren paused. I need time to figure that out. Chloe nodded. For what it's worth, I think you did the right thing. Ethan's resistance softened after the legal notice. He allowed showings, though he badmouthed the apartment to buyers. Still, offers rolled in. Seattle's market was red hot. 6 weeks later, Lauren accepted a bid above asking from a young couple. As closing approached, Ethan called, his tone subdued. I found a place in Renton. 3-bedroom. Landlord's flexible with my credit. But I need help with the deposit. Lauren considered it. I'll pay the landlord directly. Send me their info. It was a practical move. Not generosity, she wanted him out smoothly. Months later, Lauren stood in her new Lincoln Park townhouse. A 3-bedroom haven with a small garden. The condo sale had funded a hefty down payment. And her promotion to VP of Creative Strategy made it affordable. Tonight, she'd host the housewarming she'd once planned as a New Year's bash. As guests arrived, Mia, Jordan, Sarah, new neighbors, Lauren felt a deep contentment. At midnight, they toasted to fresh starts and knowing your worth. Later, alone in her quiet home, Lauren reflected. The pain had been real, but it had forged her strength. She'd learned boundaries aren't selfish, they're survival. Family should lift you up, not drain you. Most importantly, she'd claimed her role as the hero of her own story. What boundaries have you set with family? Share below. Like if Lauren's journey hit home. and subscribe for more stories of empowerment. Here's to choosing yourself in the year ahead.